What? A recording? Impossible! Certainly not from Black 516 Dragon. He never does anything. Well, it's a new year, so I figured at the very least I could give you guys some recording. This is Half-Life. I have a lot to explain during this first video, which is good because a lot doesn't happen in this first video. We'll start with the fact that I don't get to record as often as I'd like. Part of the problem for that is that for you guys to be able to hear it, which I think you guys will be able to maybe right now, it has to be very loud. It's much louder than I usually play anything and would wake up pretty much anybody else in the house. Right now there is nobody else in the house. One of the reasons I picked Half-Life is because this won't always have to be on this loud. You guys don't necessarily need to hear everything. Unfortunately, that means I just kind of have to ramble for large portions of time where it's very quiet. So, yeah, part of the problem would be that finding a good game where the sound doesn't really matter is not as easy as you'd think. So that's one. Deadlocked is on hold simply because if I played it right now, it would take forever, because I would die a lot. I'm much more reckless than that game really needs me to be. This would be my second recording of this. My first one, there was something messed up with the way I recorded it. The other thing I found out is that if I really... I'll do this briefly. Is that if I turn really fast on this tram, it's a really good way to get, like, motion sickness. And I was doing that a lot, so I'm going to try and avoid doing that this time. So let's see. What else needs to be said? One of the other big issues was finding a game to record. As I said, besides the sound issue, just one that I could do. And I tried to discuss with multiple subscribers. I only ended up talking with one, and he suggested, of the short list I gave him, one of 4 games, which was either Shadow of the Colossus, which is a really good game, but I couldn't do it justice. Not with a camcorder, at least. I'd want something like a Dazzle before I tried doing something like that. Devil May Cry 2, which I'm horribly out of practice in. I'd rather not butcher that game right now. And I don't particularly like it that much. Or Bully, which, again, I would love to do. I love Bully. It's a great game. My issue with doing Bully is that it's a very long game. And I don't think a camcorder would do it justice. Trying to think if there's anything else that needs to come up and be said. And perhaps just a little side reason is that this does have a short little co-op campaign, because this is for the PS2, which happens parallel to the main story here. Brad and I might, there is an emphasis on might, do it. If you egg us on, there is less of a chance of it happening. So if it happens, it happens, but it won't happen soon if it does end up happening, and it's entirely up to what we want to do. So don't even bring it up if you wanted to see it happen, as that's the best chance of it happening. What else needs to be said? That should be most everything. As you can see, this is an obscenely long tram ride, which is kind of made to set the mood, I guess, or get you an idea of how deep in a facility you are. If you haven't heard of Half-Life, I swear you must be living under a rock, because it's really, really popular. At least the second game is one of the most well-known games nowadays. And by proxy, then the first one is at least known of, whether or not you've played it. You are Gordon Freeman. I believe, if any of you are familiar with tropes, your Gordon Freeman trope is crouching nerd, hidden badass, or something like that. And that kind of fits. You're basically a scientist who gets this extremely well-armored suit made for extremely hazardous conditions, and you're given a crowbar as your first weapon, and you start kicking everything's butt, from aliens to military personnel. It works. I'm gonna be really thirsty. Crud. Let's see. And I can't move in the tram, so sorry. I can only turn, I cannot actually move at all. Okay. Soon I'll be able to move. There's a guy way over there. I doubt you guys, maybe you guys can see him. He's getting here. Yep. He's coming. Hey, I can move. Whee! Wheelchair accessible. Open the door.
Come on, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
That's not my fault that I'm running late. I'm blaming the tram. There needs to be a more efficient transportation system around here, buddy. Why do you walk so slow? I'm going walking speed and I am outrunning you. What are you doing? Okay, you're here. Do me a favor. Open the door. Dude. Open the door. Yes, you do that. Okay, good. Now the door should open. Now the door should open. There we go. You, buddy, are gonna die. And that's not a spoiler, he probably is gonna die. If you're at all familiar with Half-Life, you'll know why. If you're not, well, it's quite the interesting experience. We're gonna try and rush through this. You can talk to people, but really, few of them say anything at all important. First objective is over here. One of these ways. This way, I think. And, yep, down this hall, open this door. Go over here. Press the button, because we like the button. And grab this. This would be your hazard suit, I think it's called. Hazmat, hazard, whatever. It protects you from things. And your locker is over here. It has a battery in it, which gives you armor. And music is kicked in. Very unfitting for this part, in my opinion, but sure. And now we go this way. Oh, be ready to hear people talk, because there's a lot of that. Open the door. Open the door. Do it. That would be a retinal scanner, it seems. Perhaps one of the more tedious parts of this game is waiting for people to open doors for you. And that doesn't fade. That will be lasting throughout a good portion of the game. Another common theme, elevators. The difference is that while getting people to open doors for you is tedious, elevators become frightening. Remember this elevator and that there's a ladder over there. There is a reason. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. Hey, buddies.
Good to see you.
Thank you. It is not good to see you. I have work to get to. You guys are jerks. Everyone hates you. You are too. Hey, look! More machinery. Da-da-da-da-da. We are moving through hallways.
Greetings. Ah, Gordon. There you are. We just sent the sample down to the test chamber. We boosted the anti-matter parameter 105%. Little gamble, but we need the extra resolution. The administrators are concerned that we get a conclusive analysis of today's sample. I gather they went to some lengths to get it. They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
I don't know if you guys can hear them. They talk about a lot of scientific stuff, and then the last guy's kind of creepy. So, open the door. Okay. So we can move this way. That just exploded. I feel real good about going into a test chamber with machinery like that. Yeah. real good about this. Clearly nothing can go wrong with this plan.